commonalities, one of the common threads that run through schools where bullying is less of a problem than it may be in other school environments is a formal and a sincere commitment to cooperative learning. Now, as is the case with almost any intervention or approach that you can bring into your school, the effect sizes around whether cooperative learning works or not vary quite wildly. And it's true that when we're going to implement cooperative learning, what we want to do is to be one of the schools that do it incredibly well. And what happens when we commit to cooperative learning is that we build within our school an army of problem solvers, and it begins with the academic. It begins with students who can solve an academic problem together. Of course, one of the founders behind the cooperative learning movement across the world was a fellow called Spencer Kagan, who said that it's not enough to just put kids in groups, because what happens is that the human dynamic takes over. And what you get even in the optimum size for cooperative learning in a group, which is 4, even in that environment we'll get one student who's the hog and who says, "Oh, that's fantastic, I love group work, it's my time to shine," and you'll get one student who's the log who says equally, "I love group work as well because it's my time to do not very much," and 2 people with them who get pretty frustrated with both of the hog and the log. And so what we need to do is to teach students within structures that encourage them to step up in terms of their role, to be interdependent, and to kind of need each other to complete the task. We know that this commits to academic improvement not only for individual students but collectively. As a nation, if we look into our performance in terms of, say, mathematics, what we find is that even though there may be a lot of rhetoric around back to basics, the truth is we do pretty well in the basics. It's the application, it's the ability to use those basics to solve problems where we have room for improvement in Australia. So beginning with the academic is a wonderful way to get to this position later on, where we have problem solvers who can contribute to a counter-bullying environment. So what we get first when we build this notion of cooperative learning from the academic is we get the opportunity to transfer that skill. So what happens is that students start to transfer that skill to other domains of their life. They may be able to transfer it to a team environment, they may be able to transfer it to a social environment, they may be able to transfer it to an emotional environment. When they have a problem for themselves, they know how to solve it. And then 2 really important areas are even that we encourage young people that when they have a financial problem, that there's action they can take, there's problems that can be solved here through the correct action courses. And also when it comes to relationships, when we have a relational problem with a friend or within a friendship group or even within a larger community like a school community, there's always action we can take. And when we learn to transfer that problem solving skill across various domains of our life, then it becomes a label for us. Instead of thinking that I am the dumb kid or I am the problem causer, we have kids in our school who are living up to the label of I'm a problem solver. And what that means for us in terms of our quest to combat bullying is that they're doing the work for us and they're doing it behind our backs. And it's just a marvellous thing when a school community can provide an environment and provide a structure for young people that means that they are starting to make that shift away from needing us to solve their problems for them on their behalf and to do things to them as a result of ascertaining blame and determining whose fault things are, all the way across to self-regulation, where if something goes wrong in my life, I know how to do something about that because I'm a problem solver, even when that problem is as serious and emotional as bullying. So I'm wondering if you can start to think about what your school's commitment could be, even beginning at the very academic area, to getting young people to work together to solve problems independently.